Robbery, Bruno Fernandes has been given a deadline by Al Hilal over a £200 million deal. Now he's coming in from various sources. Ben Jacobs and Chris Wheeler suggesting that Bruno Fernandes could be on his way to Saudi Arabia, and Al Hilal have given him a deadline of, well, a couple of days, 72 hours to respond to the deal. It's 65 million. I think it's 700k a week, a 200 mil total package. I think it was like 100 mil, like 100 mil deal, and then obviously with the wages as well. It is ridiculous money. Ruben Amorim has obviously reiterated his desire and his passion to keep Bruno Fernandes, which is something I definitely agree with. Bruno is one of our best players, and there's such a poor season. What's he got? 19 goals, 19 assists, 38 goals and assists in what has been such a poor season for United. He'd be one of those players that you want to keep. And listen, you have to look at the downside. You look at where the club's at financially in one of the worst states it's been. Ratcliffe, Glazer's not really doing anything for the club. It's a £200 million package. You could see Manchester United take it if you look at the fact that he's 30, but he obviously didn't get the £100 million from the Europa League. But for me, Bruno would be, there'd be 10, 15 players I'd sell before Bruno. Let's go through them. Onana I'd sell before Bruno. Garnacho would go. Casemiro, Ericsson. Like the small players, Højlund would go before Bruno. Like, Bruno's one of the players who, for me, he's one of my most important players. Bruno, I think Yoro, I think Mainu, I think Ahmad, and Masraoui. They've been like the five like key players for me. Then you obviously have other very good players like Xerxes. Maguire's had a very, very good season. Garnacho, if you want to talk about him, but Ugarte, like there are players there, but Bruno for me would be one of those I'd be looking to keep 100%. His impact on this team is second to none. He starts every game he's available, and if it wasn't for him, we probably would have got relegated. The amount of goals he scored this season to win us games, get us points, the assist, he's got the countless effort and running around that he does, and he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. But listen, Al Hilal, they're adamant. Obviously, they missed out on Salah. They want to sign the player before the Club World Cup begins, which I think starts in the middle of June. Obviously, we've seen Real Madrid act on players they wanted to sign in Højlund. They've obviously got Xabi Alonso coming in as their manager. They've signed Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. But for me, my focus would be not building the team around Bruno as such, but having him as like the core vocal point. I think if you look at now next season, the season is almost done, but the players you would want to start, you would want Yoro to be one of those back three. You want Maguire to be Maguire in and around the team. You'd want Maguire, Masraoui, De Ligt, maybe probably Dorgu, Dalot. In terms of the midfield positions, you would definitely want Bruno there. Maybe Casemiro. Ugarte will still be here. Mount will still be here. You probably bring in Cunha. But Bruno would be one of those who start, and obviously he has a great connection with Ruben Amorim. And he's one of those players who, listen, he's won our player of the season 4 out the last 6 seasons, countless goals, countless assists, and his overall impact on the game is fantastic. And yes, listen, he does have the moments where, listen, in the Europa League final, I think it was Bruno Fernandes trying a crazy Hollywood pass and they get intercepted and they go on and score from that. But it's that risk that he takes, and it has rewarded United so many times. And you look at in the seasons he has had at United, was he won a Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. That wouldn't be enough for me to cement his legacy at Manchester United, because he is a legend. And I think if Bruno was to win the Premier League, it would be honestly fantastic. And I think that's when you think of we've actually got value for money, because you look at Bruno, £47 million we signed him for. You look at some of the money that players are going for at the moment, it was a bargain, and he's probably worth quadruple that in my opinion, if you look at the current market. But listen, Al Hilal, as I said, they're adamant to get Bruno Fernandes. I think he'd probably consider looking at it now. I think you look at the state in which Manchester United's in financially, on the pitch, but not good enough. But I think he's one of those players who, he said himself, he will only leave the club if the club want him to go. He's been at the club now for, 5-6 seasons. I think Amorim wants him a part of the, not sort of the rebuild, but a part of the team going into next season. And he is the heartbeat, he is the main player in this team. And yes, this club's interested. We've seen Real Madrid being linked before, obviously Al Hilal now. There will be clubs definitely interested in signing Bruno Fernandes. He is just that sort of player. And as I said, Al Hilal are in desperate need of a marquee player, and Bruno would be that. You look at where United are, this is a perfect opportunity for them to come and swoop in with a sort of an offer that United can't reject, really. But for me personally, I wouldn't go anywhere near selling Bruno at this moment. I think he's an absolute vital player to what United are trying to build. I hope he wants to stay, and I think he will stay at the football club. He's one of those players who, as I said, he just makes things happen. He's very, very important. The amount of points he's won us over the last couple of seasons. But let me know your thoughts. Would you want Bruno Fernandes to leave? I mean, you get a 200 mil investment, or £200 million to invest into a squad. With Manchester United have limited budget, I think Sir Jim, I don't think the fans and the players and Amorim would want to go, but in the hierarchy at United, the financial position that we are in, wouldn't mind Bruno Fernandes going. But listen, let me know your thoughts. Would you sell Bruno?